Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hiding Spot, episode number 4. We made it to 4 episodes.
We're planning on going further.
we're gonna
Even further beyond.
we're gonna have our parallel all the way to over 9,000. It's gonna be over 10 million now.
It's over 9,000. Oh, that was cringy. My bad. Old meme. Old meme.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
So yeah,
anyways,
welcome guys back to the Hiding Spot. All the new years, welcome to our Hiding Spot. I am KDR Killer, your host.
and I'm Symphony, also your host.
So today we are going to talk about today's topic is the worst year in humanity? Question mark.
Question mark. Ah,
Question mark
yes.
because there has been some worse years. Let's be honest, everybody.
Yeah, I guess the Black Plague was worse.
So pretty much this whole episode's going to be about the whole COVID and the pandemic stuff and how it affected people and the history of how it all started. So yeah. So the first thing with you, give me your opinion, Cam. Do you think this has been the worst year of humanity? Yes or
Of humanity, definitely no.
no?
No.
Definitely.
This has barely affected us compared to many other like outbreaks and plagues. But
Mm-hmm.
is COVID-19 considered a plague?
Uh,
Actually, let me look that up.
you could say that. I'm pretty sure that you consider a plague whatever, like, you know, gets very, what's it called, very spreaded like that, how dangerous it was. Can we consider COVID dangerous? Because let's be honest, did it kill a lot
Older
of people?
people, yes.
To older people, yeah.
Well, there is like a very high death count, but most of those deaths were just from people who had COVID. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was from COVID.
From COVID, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm not trying to belittle the effect and all that stuff that this had on our lives and all that stuff. Yeah, it sucked. I at one point even had COVID, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a fun time.
Oh
By
yeah.
the way, it was horrible.
I mean,
I couldn't taste,
I
smell, or uh, I could feel. It was
he's
just
like,
it was
I can
weird.
feel the touch.
Yeah, yeah.
I can still
Uh,
feel love.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people say that. I don't know what I could do without like tasting. That would be a horrible thing, man. Being like eating something sweet because I eat a lot of candy because I'm a very sweet guy, so I love something sweet. I love like ice cream and shit like that. So if I can't taste that shit, I would go mentally insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna go straight into it. So, whole COVID, they announced the mysterious coronavirus-related pandemic in Wuhan, China, in January 9th. If you guys don't know who is, get it.
Ah,
um,
God, I'm here.
the WHO is the World Health Organization. So yeah, so on January 9th they announced the whole like a little bit like a little virus that started at Wuhan, China. There has been a lot of it. There has been a lot of you know rumors or where it started like a guy eating bats. I don't because the thing is I don't believe it's that because Chinese culture has always eaten animals like that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
why would it start now? You know what I mean? Because they have
Well,
always eaten like weird stuff like rats, bats, and all that stuff. So it just
we have confirmed that it is a mutation from an animal. It was some kind of animal disease, and it mutated to actually infect humans, and we weren't prepared, so it spread everywhere.
so yeah, it just got pretty much worse over time.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't just blame it on the Chinese because a lot of people do be like, oh, they make so much fun. They make fun of the Chinese for being like, oh, they eat bats and they started the coronavirus and stuff like that. And I feel like we shouldn't always blame it on the Chinese because, like I said, their culture has always been like that. You know what I mean? They have always eaten weird
Well,
things, and it's just because
yeah.
the funny, it's like we may see it as a weird way, like, oh, how could they eat bats or how could they eat rats and stuff like that. But they'll say the same thing about us. How can we
Yeah,
eat
different
triple?
cultures and all
Yeah,
that.
a triple meat cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like they'll think it's disgusting or something like that, or like how can we drink Dr Pepper or some shit? It's disgusting
Mhm.
stuff. That'll be like, hey, that sounds so fucking disgusting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And like eating other animals and all that stuff that, you know, I'm not gonna say that most people agree that should be eaten. I'm not going to say that because it really just depends on where you're at and what culture you have. Um, I believe it's India that will not eat a cow at all. And if a cow is on the road or something, like cows are pretty much gods to them.
Hmm.
Like they
But
treat
yeah,
them.
that's more like a religion thing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the custom there, and I believe they believe, or yeah, I think that they believe. I'm pretty sure. I think I read or heard it somewhere, but they believe that cows are like reincarnated humans.
Yeah.
So people that have been reincarnated from as humans from as humans to cows,
Hmm.
so they don't kill cows.
Yeah. So that's more like a religion thing, though. It's not like. Well, I mean, you could say it's like a culture thing. Well, obviously it is a culture thing, but what I mean is like the food differences between everybody. You know what I mean? So like maybe some people don't like like curry because it tastes horrible, but exactly. But like it gets me back to the point where I was saying I heard people think, oh, the Americans, how could they eat a triple meat hamburger? That's so much fat, or like something like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I say we shouldn't always like give the blame completely to Chinese because, like I said, they've been doing this for years. You know what I mean? And yes,
Well,
like I said,
honestly, it's
but
not their fault. They didn't
oh yeah, they
have
didn't.
any say in the
No,
matter.
they didn't have a say in that. Bats just are like animals, and in general, like always have like effects. Is like the pig. I'm not 100% sure what the virus is called, but the virus that the pigs and transferred between them, and the birds ones, and there's been so many viruses in the United States. Where it originated from in the United States, that was from
Yeah.
animals, and
Yeah, the
people.
black plague was all from birds, rats, and I believe fleas.
Yeah, exactly. And it started here in the United States. I'm 100% sure. And
Hmm.
so we can't blame just the Chinese for something they don't have control of. If you say, hey, they live in like junkyards, or they have their sewage horrible. Yeah, I would believe that you could blame it on the Chinese, or like on stuff like that. But you can't blame the Chinese for having their culture differently, and eating something that you don't think that is right for them, because obviously it's gonna be right for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so January 21st was the first COVID case in the United States. Fun fact. It was in
Mhm.
Washington State. He became the first person in the United States with a confirmed case of the 2019 novel coronavirus. Because keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, coronavirus actually started in December, in late December. And I remember seeing a meme like a few days before 2019 ended to be like 2020 hasn't started and it's already gone off in a bad spot in a bad start, and just and like who would have expected that how far it went deep, with how much stuff went through the whole entire year of 2020. It's been horrible, man. you know so
Yeah, especially for small businesses.
Oh yeah, so many companies had to close. So many small shops, like family shops, had to close because they couldn't have that risk, and they didn't want to risk their family.
Yeah.
Like family businesses, like couldn't like afford getting their family sick and their employees sick, because obviously keep in mind because you'd be like, oh, why don't they just take the measurements to not like let them get COVID and everything, which is if they didn't know what the measurements were. They didn't know
Mhm.
that it was a temperature. Like when a virus starts, you can't know what the symptoms are at first. Obviously, scientists have to study them and stuff like that. Be like, hey, the symptoms are having temperature or not feeling to touch and anything like that. Obviously, nobody knew that. So
To be honest,
obviously,
I think even now we don't even know what
yeah,
COVID is.
there's still not 100% sure what the fuck what it is. You know what I mean? Because people say it's cold,
Yeah.
people say it's a sore throat and stuff like that. It's been different things, so it's still not 100% sure. But obviously, if an employee gets sick in a small company, it affects. They gotta pay for insurance, they gotta pay for that, they pay for the hospital, because if they get sick, they can blame it. Hey, I got sick at work, so the company has to pay for that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
obviously it was a huge case, and I hope everybody, if anybody has a company or knows a company that had to close down, I am so sorry for you. It was such a hard year for companies like this, man. And the big companies, that are billionaires and make so much money doing online stuff, have very impressed me. because they have always showed so much support to other small companies. Sometimes some people have even donated money to help other people, and even celebrities. You know what I mean? Celebrities have donated to like donations. You know what I mean? Like charity and stuff like that. People with the whole stimulus check and everything too. It helps so much people. I remember when they announced the stimulus check and they finally got it. So much people announced how happy and how much it changed their entire life. Man, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah,
mean,
and
some people just have a hard life, and it was hard for them, to not be able to work because a lot of people lost their jobs too, you know,
mhm.
because they had to cut off on so much because they had to save the money from insurance and stuff like that. They're like, all right, we have to do a lot of cuts, and that's exactly what they did, and it was horrible, man.
Yeah, I actually have a story related to this topic.
Mm-hmm.
So as a kid, there'd be like every 2 months or so, on like a special occasion, we would go out to this restaurant called Golden Corral. Shout out to the viewers who know what that is, but
Yeah, I know what that is.
they open. Well, I think it's like an Oklahoman thing. I
No,
don't know.
it's in a lot of places.
Yeah, probably, but they. I don't know if they're like out of business, but I think they are out of business actually. But anyways, their restaurants aren't open right now. So uh I think they went out of business. That's what I'm trying to say. And
Mm.
that was like my childhood restaurant pretty much. I'd go there
And it's
every
and
two or
yeah,
so months.
and it's for like it's a buffet, right? So
Yeah.
obviously it was hard for them.
Yeah. Buffets weren't really doing too good with this whole like gotta keep things clean and all that. Yeah, honestly, that place was pretty bad when they did business. Like I went there one time and it was so nasty in there, dude. It was really bad. It does kind of depend on the location you go to as well. But all in
And obviously
all,
the state,
restaurant was great. Just some restaurant locations were like, why are you even open?
Yeah. So I just looked it
Yeah.
up. So Golden Corral, large franchise, also filed for bankruptcy because of COVID in
Mm.
October. So they pretty much 1,600, 1,069 restaurant group had filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Only six of its 33 Golden Corral restaurants remained open. So only 33 Golden Corrals. That was on April 13th, 2021. So maybe they have opened some, but I feel like they haven't. Like I said, it's been hard because even in this year, it's still been hard for people because they're barely recovering from that huge impact. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
with everything they had, like especially food restaurants, they have to throw out so much stuff. So they have, when they were able to open restaurants again and have their stuff back and stuff delivered, they had to buy everything new from scratch because obviously they had to throw everything out. That was when they had to close for COVID. So it was a huge impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and so like I said, viewers, I do wish people that have own shops and lost their jobs. I hope they are doing well right now. 2021 has been a better year, a little bit better year than 2020. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so going back to the timeline, January 23 was when Wuhan, where COVID originated, was now under quarantine. So in 2 days after they announced, that COVID was a virus, 13 people more died, and an additional 300 were sickened. So the virus spread fast. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was like about like the air and stuff. So that's why the air mask and everything. But I mean, it's so weird because Chinese people every single time they travel, you always see them with face masks. You know what I mean? So they always had that thing, and it's funny to know that it started from it.
Well, just imagine how it would be if they didn't have that as a cultural custom. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a cultural custom, but it
Well,
is like a part of their culture.
I just feel like because of how much United States had like viruses, I just feel like that's why they were like very scared. Like people would come over and be like, "Hey, I don't want to get this new virus and bring it to, don't bring it to back to my country." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, I don't know if it's the mask thing is actually like a cultural thing, but it was very popular in China and Japan too, I believe.
Oh yeah, I believe that for a second. Like I said, they were just terrified. I feel like Chinese have always like been a little bit more advanced and intelligence wise. Um, that
Well, they had no idea what was going on. It hit them faster than anybody. Well,
Oh no,
besides America, but
yeah, no, I mean with the face mask thing, because they just didn't want to like get a virus from the United States and bring it over to China. But it's like I said,
yeah.
it's very funny how it started from China and they brought it over here. You know what I mean? So on January 31st, the World Health Organization issues a global health emergency. So with a worldwide death toll of more than 200 and a very big jump to more than 9,800 cases, they finally declare a public health emergency for just the sixth time. So there has been six other times where the World Health Organization has, announced for a public health emergency. So it was a huge thing, obviously. And back then, I was still living in Mexico, and I didn't think much about it because it started in the United States. So I didn't think much about it because there was like no signs of it in Mexico. So in February 2nd, that's when they finally restricted the global air travel, um, with the route to the United States have to be left to China. So imagine how bad that would have been. Like, just be like, all right, I'm going to China in January, and then you're gonna go back on January 3rd and be like, hey, you can't come back no more. Just imagine how bad that would have been. I mean, what would you do in that situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of YouTubers actually got caught up into that. A lot of them.
Yeah, it
I
must have been
believe,
horrible, man.
yeah, they eventually did get to go back to where they originated from or where they were trying to get to. So that's good and all. But just imagine being trapped in a place that you have no idea like where everything is or
And you have
anything
no
like that.
money, and
And
you, and
you're
you don't have like much money to like rent an apartment or something like that.
yeah,
It's like a horrible thing.
yeah. No, add that with like if you didn't even know the language, that
Oh yeah, oh yeah, hundred
yeah,
percent.
like you didn't know English, oh that would be the worst thing possible.
That would have been very worse. So, March 11th was the big day. That was when the World Health Organization finally declared COVID-19 as a pandemic, and that's where things just spiraled downhill pretty much. Because
Yeah.
March 13th, since President Donald Trump was still ex-President Donald Trump was president at that time, he declared COVID-19 a national emergency. So the travel ban started happening, and they started closing down restaurants. They started doing, the quarantine and stuff, and
Mhm.
with the stimulus checks. I feel like the stimulus checks really helped a lot of people because, like I said, there was like a pandemic going on, and there was like a shortage of toilet paper. Like you could see, like, do you remember like seeing the WalMarts like empty, man, fucking
I remember
empty.
seeing a lot of memes about it.
Yeah,
A
and
lot of
like
memes.
I never personally saw a real Walmart. Actually have like I never went to a Walmart actually.
You
To
should have
see
just
that shit.
yeah, I was about to say you should have just ended it at I never seen a Walmart. Be
Yeah,
hilarious.
I never seen a Walmart. I'm sorry, I live under a rock.
I believe Walmarts are like in the US only, or they might be in other
No,
countries, but I'm
they've
pretty
been no,
sure.
they've been in a lot of countries. They're here in Mexico. I'm not 100% sure where else there it is, but it's
Mhm.
not only in U.S.
Yeah. Next topic.
All
So,
right.
what was your
Well,
worst experience, by the way, of this
my worst experience.
pandemic?
So 2020 wasn't a bad year for me, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like 2020 was a really great year for me, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But 2020 might probably be a bad thing. I won't say it was a bad thing, but it was a very great impact in my life.
Yeah.
Uh, it was on March, I think it was March, that my great grandma died, and I'm happy she died before COVID hit Mexico because she died at 98, so it would have been
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, she was a very strong woman. She was very
Dang.
strong. Yeah, she was a great inspiration to me, and
Most people are lucky to make it to their 80s.
yeah, that's why she always inspired me, and she always gave me motivation. So I think probably the baddest thing. That's the only like bad thing that happened to me in 2020, because everything else was just perfect, man. A lot of people started like stopped going to the gym, like let themselves go. On the contrary, I used 2020 as a way to make myself better. Um, I went back to Las Vegas to live back with my mom before the whole travel ban started. It was actually probably like 4 days before the travel ban happened, so I barely made it back into the United States.
Hey,
And
at least you did though.
yeah, I will admit it was because a lot of stuff happened here in Mexico, because Mexico went to not having COVID, like, and the United States, having COVID and shit like that, and Mexico just turned into a horrible country with COVID. So I'm very happy I did move back to Vegas and I did take care of myself. But like I said, a lot of people like took like stopped going to the gym, stopped going to work out, everything. Me on the contrary, I used the whole quarantine to make myself a better person. Work on my talents, because I feel when quarantine will started, and because obviously vacation, summer vacation was out when the whole quarantine, like actually you had to stay in the house, and the online stuff happened like probably like 2 weeks before summer break. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I remember when they announced it in school, be like, "Oh yeah, COVID is we don't want to take that risk. Online school is gonna happen." And I remember I was so excited, and I was with you when I told you, "Oh, I'm so happy." 2 weeks of just video games. Online school was amazing, man. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we were both so excited, and we only thought it was gonna last like a month, and look at it, a whole fucking year, man. it
What a
was
great year.
it was a
Well,
very great year.
for some people.
Yeah, some people. I feel like it was a great year for video games too, because
Oh, yeah, video games became a lot more popular. It became like one of the most sought after things, at least in America. And it actually, because before then, news about games and all that stuff was limited and all that. The only way you could really go and find them is if you were to search for them.
yeah,
But
and
now
that's
you could like see them in like world news and all that stuff, which is insane.
yeah. I mean, it was a perfect timing when Sony and Microsoft announced their new consoles, the new Xbox and the new
Oh,
PlayStation
yeah.
5. That happened in quarantine too, man. But just imagine, that was a great opportunity for them, because I feel like they did that on purpose, obviously, because they were like, "Damn, this has been a fucking rough year," and like if you think about it, it was an amazing year for every gamer, because it was a great opportunity. Everybody had, like, if you didn't lose your job, and I hope you didn't, um, you would have to do it online. It just depends on the thing you do, but you would actually have time to game. Everything would be at home, and you would have so much time, man. And you would actually be
Yeah.
able to game. Like a lot of people, like half the time, like we can only probably hop on for like 3 hours, and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have so
Sadly,
much.
for those extroverts, they couldn't get their social interaction for the day most of the time.
Exactly, but I mean, it's still though. It was an amazing year for gaming, man. Sony, like PlayStation and Xbox, made 2020 the best year for gamers, no doubt, because
Yeah.
they made us so happy with all of the games that they announced, the new consoles, and they hyped us up. They hyped us up so much for it. And actually, now that I remember this, because I remember this happening like 1 week before they announced the new PlayStation and the new Xbox. The second bad thing that happened during quarantine was I got suspended from PlayStation. My account got
My
suspended.
God, I
Oh
was
my
so
god.
bored for the entire time.
That was a horrible, horrible time. I got suspended for
Oh.
absolutely no reason. I didn't get a reason. I got
You know
suspended.
there was a reason.
Well,
You know the reason.
the first suspension I did get no reason. I did say it was an offensive word, but it turns out you cannot curse at all in PlayStation chats. But the second suspension, the first suspension was for like, what, 3 weeks. You remember
A
that?
month.
No, it was
It
3 weeks.
was for a month.
No, the second was for a month.
Oh, okay.
The first
Yeah, it
one,
was like it
the
was
first
two
one,
weeks or 3 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
the first one was 2 weeks and 3 weeks. But the second one with a month suspension, I did not have an entire reason. And turns out PlayStation can't give you the reason why you got suspended. They can't be like, oh, it was because you said this and to this message or something like that. And I feel like it's a little bit unreasonable for that. But that was my second thing. I mean, at the same time, it wasn't such a bad thing for me because I got caught up with so much of my campaign games because I played multiplayer. I played multiplayer a lot, so I really got caught up with my like with Spider Man, and I bought games. But I've also bought online games that I couldn't play until I got unsuspended, and oh my god, man, it was fucking horrible. I did miss getting
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, those the I believe the second one got like made like Sony dropped the second suspension, was it? Yeah. Thank God for that. I would have been so lonely. Yeah, because at this time we were playing GTA a lot.
Oh yeah,
Like
because of
4 hours
quarantine.
of each day was just GTA. And man, you guys, GTA is the most like multiplayer game that you can play with friends.
And
It is so
it is
fun.
such an entertaining game
Yeah,
when you're in quarantine, man.
we still go back to it till this day
Oh
because of
yeah,
how just fun and like they keep things new and fresh sometimes, I guess. I can't really
yeah. Sometimes they
put
do.
into words what I'm trying to say here, but they make it to where you kind of like Minecraft. They make it to where you can always come back. Uh but yeah, it was a very difficult year for a lot of people, but for the like introverts and all that, it was probably the one of the best years.
Oh, it was a really good. It was really good, but it was at the same time bad. Like I said, a lot of people lost so many things, and a lot of people gained so much things and stuff like that. And such good things or such bad things. Um, you know, but like I said, yeah, 2020 wasn't a bad year for me. I took that quarantine into turning myself into a better person. I got caught up with so much stuff. I got back into drawing again. I got back into writing stories, and I had so much time. I just regained my love for gaming. Because I was so
Yeah.
caught up with school and everything, and it was very hard for me to game and everything. I had my schedule, and it's always good to have a schedule, but you feel like sometimes like a robot doing the same thing over and over and over again. So it's nice to have that little break, from the whole quarantine. But I mean, it was also bad, because I always love going out, especially when it's like my birthday, when it's like around my birthday weekend. I would love to go out and stuff like that. And you couldn't eat at restaurants, man. So I couldn't go to fucking Chili's on my birthday. And who wouldn't want to go to Chili's on their fucking birthday? But I couldn't, man. It was a fucking. I
Man,
almost
I have
cried.
never been into a Chili's, dude.
Have you
I
actually
don't,
never been to a Chili's? We're gonna make an entire episode of how the fuck you not going to Chili's.
man.
That's like against the law, man. How have you not gone into a Chili's?
My family sticks to the good restaurants that we've always gone to. We don't like change, all right?
You're saying Chili's isn't a good restaurant, even though you never tried it, you
Ooh,
fucking weirdo.
I'm not saying it's a bad one. I'm just saying.
I see how it is. I see how it is.
I've always wanted to try the Chipotle though. Like that was a big craze for I'd say about a month, and then it kind of just like disappeared from the internet. I feel.
Yeah, it was actually one thing I never really, actually tasted. It was Chick Fil A and Chipotle.
Yeah,
Would I want to try it? Probably. Um, but just like whenever it comes up, I'll be like, hey, I'll try it.
yeah. If you guys are ever like looking for something, this is not a sponsor, by the way. It's just my opinion. But if you guys are ever looking for something cheap and very delicious, always go to Taco Bell. They have the best like food items that you could imagine, and not only that, but it's all cheap. You can get like a family meal for $5.
I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. Taco shells are horrible. I don't like taco shells in my opinion.
Taco Bell? What
No,
do you mean?
the taco shells, like the tacos from Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the taco shells are horrible, man. I do not like them at all. That's my complaint,
Uh,
anyways.
my favorite thing on their menu is the Dorito taco. It is like the best combination that I never thought could happen. It is really good. I suggest anybody to try it. It's awesome.
That sounds like it's gonna get you stuffed immediately.
Oh, it actually does. That's why I get it.
That's all you get when you're super hungry. You don't eat breakfast, you don't eat dinner, you just eat lunch, and that's all you need.
Man, I don't know what it was, but ever since I turned 13, it's just like there was a switch and I barely eat anything now. Like I might eat once a day and that just be it. Which I don't it's not good to just eat once a day, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I
kind of
don't
like a
know.
superpower.
I don't think you should consider that a superpower. Just like, I don't think eating for one day it should be considered a superpower. Just like, you know. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
but
yeah,
yeah.
I guess it's not, but still, it's a good thing to have, I guess. I don't even know the words what I'm trying to say here, but
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
yeah.
So yeah, COVID was like a half and half year. That's what I consider COVID. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, stuff, good stuff happened, bad stuff happened. Just some key things that we just want to like give pretty much a moment of their own time. So these are the bad things that happened from 2020. The Australian the Australian burns. Man,
Oh
that
yeah.
was horrible, man. That was very horrible.
The one in California was a lot worse though, right? No, I'm pretty
No,
sure
Australia.
Australia
Oh
had
no,
it worse.
Australia, man, was horrible, man.
Yeah.
And one that was very huge, and the entire internet broke when this happened. Kobe Bryant's death, man. Oh my god,
Oh,
man.
I thought you were about to bring up the gender party fire.
You mean the Black Lives Matter protest?
No, the gender reveal party that ended up into California's like biggest wildfire.
Oh no, I'm talking about Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna's death. That broke the internet. I remember it was very horrible, man. That was especially I felt very bad for his daughter because it's just dying so young, man. Is just very horrible. I just couldn't imagine it, man. You don't
Yeah.
experience life at all, like you know. And also the Black Lives Matter protest. A lot of people say it was a bad thing, but I feel like it was a really good thing. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to cause a lot of speculations and dramatic stuff, but there was good things and there was bad things coming out of it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's all I want to say on that topic. You know. And then we also
Mhm.
got the Kim Jong Un death rumors that happened.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of a internet thing though,
Oh yeah,
not
it
much
was.
of a media thing.
Well, it actually turned into a media thing because the rumors started spreading to the media, and the media actually believed it was true and everything. And then when the I don't exactly remember what part of the United States it was. Excuse me. The exposures of the murder hornets. You remember when there's like so much murder hornets around
Yeah.
around
Which I don't
places?
know why they call them murder horns. They don't really kill people.
Oh yeah, but they were just like very bad. And then we got the Chadwick Boseman's death, or as more known as the
Black
Black
Panther.
Panther. Yeah,
Yeah.
was very.
That was like really sad
Oh yeah.
to me personally because
'Cause, yeah, I
I'm
didn't
gonna be honest, I
when you
don't
found
watch
out.
much basketball and all that stuff. So like the whole Kobe Bryant thing, I knew he was like popular and all that, but I didn't actually know him. Uh, yeah, but I knew Chadwick Boseman.
Oh yeah,
No
I know.
offense to Kobe Bryant, by the way.
Respect. R.I.P. to that huge legend. But I didn't know that. But it turns out he had a sickness that he played through Black Panther without anybody
Oh,
knowing.
he had cancer.
Well, yes, I know, but I just referred to it as sickness. But yeah, it turns out
Mhm.
he had it in Black Panther, and he didn't tell anybody about it. There was like only just some few people uh, that knew about it, you know, but not all or not like even the actors never knew about it, and it's just it's a very happy why the reason why he did that. It's because he didn't want people to treat him differently, you know. And I really like see that like
Yeah.
wow man, that's very inspirational, you know, because he wanted people to treat him like like he was and how he was treated, man. And Chadwick was an amazing person, man. He was like up there with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, if you do have an illness, please go get to a professional. Don't do what Chadwick Boseman did because that's just gonna hurt others when you if you do pass away from whatever you have going on with you. It's gonna be a lot more hurtful to the others that are around you.
Yeah, it's always good to even check a little bit of like even a cough or anything. It's always good to make sure, hey, you know,
Yeah, yeah, especially nowadays.
yeah, you can't be too sure. So it's fine if you go out there and be like, hey, I want to make sure that I'm okay and I don't have this. Because sometimes you do, and it's a really bad thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's talk about the good things that came from 2020. A good thing that I really want to come out. I don't know if you saw an image, but Italy's rivers were so clean, man. Just wow, man.
I haven't seen the images
The
for this yet,
environment
but it sounds awesome.
the environment, man, just turned so amazing, man. Like the land got so much greener, and the oceans were so much cleaner. And viewers, you can go out, look it up. We're not all of these information that we do say it does come from a reliable source, and you can see images for yourself, and they were like amazing, man. You know, and just seeing how much because obviously it's not always our fault that we contaminate. Because obviously it's always like the company's fault because of the factories and the smoke and everything. But it was such a good thing, and just like I said, I mentioned the Black Lives Matter protest as a bad thing, but I will mention Black Lives Matter protest as a good thing too, because it brought so much good things to it as well. So I will have it
Yeah.
in both ways.
Um, what's the group's name that is like really racist? I don't know the group's name or anything, but why would
We
you
don't know.
ever be a part of a public group like that? That to me seems retarded. Especially with all the BLM stuff happening right now.
Yeah,
It just
people
mm,
just have their own thing, and just there's always gonna be people that don't like differences, and it's completely fine if you do believe that, but just don't get into
mhm.
violence. If you believe,
Yeah.
if I would never criticize anybody for being, treating people different, but if you do treat them different, like in a bad way, and you will like make them start laughing at them, that's you don't never want to do that, man. You
Yeah,
always want
we're
to
all
shoot.
human. We're pretty much the
Just
same species. Come on.
yeah, just like ignore them pretty much, because you can't say bad things about them. You just shouldn't, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in general, I would like to say this about COVID. COVID was not the worst year in humanity. Not even top five, man. Not even top five. Because COVID brought so much good things, and if they didn't bring those good things about COVID, then I would be like, yeah, COVID was the worst year ever.
Hmm.
But yeah, it brought so much good things. It brought so much bad things, but good things came out about it. And I always like to say, always look at the good things about the bad things. Like I will
Hmm.
always remember 2020 as the good moments and the good memories that it came out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, well, honestly, I don't think our lives really got impacted too much from COVID. Like the only thing that I saw that was different from when COVID hit was now I have to wear a mask outside,
And the online school,
which
obviously. A lot of people. I mean, but even then,
yeah, that's it.
online school was still a thing with a lot of people. A lot of people like, which I did not know. People from long distance can do online schooling in their colleges. So if you live in the United States and you want to go to college in China, then you will have online school in China. So
Oh,
a
that's
lot.
awesome.
Yeah, I actually did not know about that. But yeah, a lot of people, life wasn't changing a little bit. And like I said, the stimulus check helped people to get back on their feet, and it was so helpful for the government to do that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And this how the celebrities appreciate. So to end this episode off, I do want to say a big thanks to everybody that always supported, us people, like the community of people that couldn't help do much to have keep our jobs and everything. Because I even lost my job, when I worked. Yeah, it was bad, man. I lost my job, and that was the way to to have like save up money and stuff like that for myself. So a big thank you to every person, even the government that helped us send us the stimulus checks and everything, that inspired us, that gave us motivation to keep on going. Because 2020 had so much bad things, but I always will look at 2020 about the good things. And
Yeah.
I also want to say that thank you guys for keep on pushing forward. A lot of people lost so much motivation, were in the bad places because of 2020. They didn't think their family was gonna push through. They didn't think that they were gonna make it. That even when you have COVID, and if you're a person that had COVID and you went through that, I am fucking proud. You are a strong motherfucker. You are a
Yeah.
baddest motherfucker in the whole entire world. So a lot of people, sadly, the people that I didn't make it, rest in peace. They are heroes because they helped us to get where we are right now. Everybody that their life was taken away so shortly because teenagers were taken so shortly, man. Babies,
Yeah.
babies even
Yeah.
taken, man. And so every person that was taking their life, you are a hero to us because you helped us get these vaccinations up. They helped us push, and they helped us get to where we are, and they helped us to have everything open, man. Because everything is going back to normal, but
Well,
not all the way to
nothing will be
100%
as
done.
normal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, nothing will be
we
as
still
normal.
gotta. This is a new decade, so everything we're still gonna find out what we still have to do that COVID made us do, like the
Yeah,
face
what a
mask.
way to start off the new decade, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people don't wear your mask anymore because they're like, oh, COVID ended. If you're still vaccinated, but if you're like in a group of people, I would say I would recommend you put on your mask on. Don't take the risk. You know, like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
you lasted so long without getting COVID. Why risk it now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, have you watched Unisonis?
I have not.
That sucks. Anyways, for those of you who do know about Unisonis and was actually there from the beginning, shout out to you guys. B- Big ups on that. I didn't find out about Unisonis until they made like their second episode, which that's pretty early, but not as early as I'd like it to be because I love Markiplier and everything he does. But Unis Honest, they did this or Markiplier and Crank Gameplays or Mark and Ethan, they did this project and they made a channel called Unis Honest. And in the channel, they were to make a video every day. Keep in mind while making or videos on their main channel as a schedule. And so they pretty much, yeah, for an entire year, they made a video for every day. And in the end, they actually made more videos than there was the day in the year, but I believe it was just because of a contest or something
Yeah.
that was going on. Uh, Demonist, by the way, just shouting that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it sucked on how the pandemic affected them really because they couldn't see each other for the most part, so they're all just kind of doing online stuff, which I mean, it was still entertaining, especially like Mark's commentary and all that stuff. It was very entertaining,
Yeah.
but their IRL stuff was so much more funny. Especially when they got back together, they just like pushed out joke after joke after joke. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It seems like
we do need to end this episode. So
yes. We don't want to make
with
this too long.
that, our Discord is in the description, and yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching again, and we always do appreciate you guys' support, and we're happy that we're gonna keep on going. We'll always keep on going.
Yes, please like and subscribe and share because this is a new podcast. Currently, we only have views. We have no comments, no likes, no subscribers.
Yeah, but we will, and we will appreciate you
Yeah,
guys
we
when
will.
it happens. So
So please share us with your friends, your family. uh anybody. Podcasts to me aren't really fun to watch, but they're very fun to do.
And they're very fun to
So
hear when you're like doing stuff. Exactly. That's
yeah,
why.
it's
That's
a
what.
good background noise.
Exactly. I like to watch podcasts when I'm like doing something, so it's nice to hear other people's opinion and stuff like that. Like, wow, he's got a good point there. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I do have a big ADHD problem, so I have to have something in the background so I can focus on what I'm trying to focus on.
So yeah, podcast is a great thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, guys, we hope that we are that help for you guys. So, anyways, so yeah, guys, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yes, quality will get better. Keep that in mind, and bye bye.
See you guys.